On May 23, 2025, something unexpected shook the world of professional stock car racing. Internet personality turned amateur racer Cletus McFarland showed up at the ARCA Menards Series race at Charlotte Motor Speedway, a 1.5-mile high-speed oval that has humbled even seasoned pros. But Cletus wasn't just there to compete. He was there to prove something. To himself, to the racing world, and to the millions of fans who followed his rise from burnout competitions to professional racing grids. This wasn't a stunt, it wasn't a cameo, this was serious business, and as we'll see, it would turn into one of the most chaotic, controversial, and talked about races of the year. To understand how wild this moment was, you need to understand who Cletus is. Born Garrett Mitchell, he's best known by his online alter ego. He's a high-octane mix of car nerd, showman, and businessman, with a massive YouTube following, his own racetrack, the Freedom Factory in Florida, and an empire built on raw horsepower, outrageous builds, and good old-fashioned American speed. He's hosted burnout contests, drag races, and custom car events that draw thousands in person and millions online. But ARCA, that's a different animal. No wild stunts, no cinematic camera angles, just pure racing, where every driver is fighting for inches at 180 miles per hour. For Cletus, it's always been about pushing the limit. From building 2,000 horsepower Corvettes to organizing YouTuber versus pro driver grudge matches, this was the natural next step. It wasn't just a new challenge, it was a shot at legitimacy. If he could hang with real racers in real race cars, then maybe, just maybe, he could silence the critics. Cletus didn't show up to Charlotte on a whim. He'd been quietly training for months, multiple seat time sessions, private coaching, sim work. His car, a purpose-built ARCA machine, was dialed in with a competitive setup. His team included real mechanics and seasoned crew chiefs. It was a legit operation. In practice, he looked solid, confident, focused. He didn't overdrive the car or make flashy moves. He was calculating. When qualifying rolled around, he stunned the field by grabbing 11th place on the starting grid, ahead of many full-time drivers. That alone told everyone Cletus wasn't here to coast. As the green flag dropped, McFarland launched into action. His lines were smooth. He stayed out of trouble. And lap by lap, he climbed into the top 10, running right alongside names who've been racing professionally for years. For the first part of the race, it was a dream debut. Fans online were buzzing. Announcers were impressed. Even his critics had to admit, he looked legit. Then came the caution. With several drivers diving into the pits for fresh tires, Cletus and his crew had a decision to make. Pit now and play it safe, or stay out, gain track position, and take a shot at leading laps. They chose the bold route, stay out. That call vaulted him to P2, starting on the front row for the restart next to ARCA veteran Grant Enfinger. It was a massive opportunity, but also a high-pressure moment. Everyone was watching. If he could nail the restart and hold his own up front, the narrative would shift completely. But when the green flag waved again, everything unraveled. As Cletus dropped the hammer, he spun the rear tires. In racing terms, he lost traction. Wheel spin on older tires robbed him of acceleration. In less than 2 seconds, the outside line was stacked up behind him. William Sawage, running right behind, tried to check up but made contact with McFarland's left rear. That contact sent Cletus sideways, and in the chaos, his car clipped Isabella Robusto, a promising young driver with a strong car, who then slammed headfirst into the wall. From there, it snowballed. A massive chain reaction began. Over 10 cars were involved in the crash. Some hit the brakes too late. Others had nowhere to go. Carbon fiber flew. Dreams ended. And just like that, one restart altered the entire outcome of the race. It was one of the worst pileups of the ARCA season. Instantly, social media lit up. The clips went viral. Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, all filled with commentary, debate, and outrage. Some fans rallied behind Cletus, defending him as a rookie learning the ropes. Others tore into him, accusing him of reckless driving and costing professionals their shot at a clean race. The biggest criticism? That tire strategy. Many believed staying out on worn tires was irresponsible on a track like Charlotte, where grip is king and restart traction is critical. Race teams questioned it. Crew chiefs called it a rookie mistake. Even seasoned analysts weighed in. The gamble didn't just fail, it exploded. Cletus didn't hide. In a heartfelt interview post-race, he took full accountability. "I feel terrible. I made a huge mistake, and I ruined the day for a lot of good drivers," he said. "I've been on the other end of that before. Getting sent home early, it sucks, and I hate that I caused that for other people." Inside the car, he was visibly angry with himself. On the team radio, he said, "I blew it." He pounded the steering wheel, slammed his helmet. The emotion was real. But then, he got back on the track. Even with damage to his car and no chance at a podium, Cletus kept racing. He grinded out lap after lap, carving his way forward. By the time the checkered flag flew, he crossed the line in 9th place, his best finish in ARCA. That wasn't luck. That was heart. That was someone proving they belonged. While the spotlight was on Cletus, the checkered flag went to Austin Green. Driving car number 82 for Pinnacle Racing Group, Green dominated the night, leading 52 laps and taking home his first ARCA victory. It was a huge moment for the rising star, but the crash, the comeback, and the controversy surrounding McFarland dominated the headlines. And that sparked a much bigger conversation. Should social media personalities, YouTubers, influencers, be allowed to compete in professional racing series? It's a divisive question. Supporters argue that guys like Cletus bring fresh energy, bigger audiences, and more sponsorship dollars to a sport that needs visibility. Every race he enters pulls in new fans. Every video he posts gets more people talking about ARCA. But critics push back. They argue that viral fame doesn't equal driving skill, and that putting rookies with limited experience into serious race environments puts other drivers at risk. They see it as dangerous, unfair, a sideshow. Cletus's crash handed those critics ammunition, but his response gave his defenders something just as powerful. He didn't run from the backlash, he took it. He acknowledged his mistake, and more importantly, he showed he's not here for the spotlight. He's here to learn, to improve, and to compete on merit. Because real racing isn't just about going fast. It's about focus, humility, and respect for the sport, the fans, and your fellow drivers. Cletus is learning that in front of millions of eyes. Every move is under a microscope. Every misstep gets magnified. That's the price of fame, but it's also the power of it. Because now, more people are watching ARCA. More people are paying attention to the storylines, the rivalries, the talent. The 2025 General Tire 150 didn't end with a win for McFarland, but what he walked away with was arguably more valuable. Respect. Respect from fans who saw him own his mistake and fight back. Respect from fellow racers who watched him refuse to quit. And slowly, respect from the racing world, who are beginning to see him not just as a YouTuber, but as a driver. So what do you think? Did Cletus earn his shot? Should influencers race in ARCA? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more raw, unfiltered race stories just like this.